Hi, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. I am Lynne Huysamen. If you're watching on Lula Cup, my website is Kaboutjie and I'm a blogger. And today I've got with me Megan Clark from Lula Cup, and we are going to be talking about how to use a menstrual cup, which I think is going to be a really interesting and TMI topic for today. So,
Of
yeah, we're going to
course.
be really getting into it. If that makes you uncomfortable, sorry, guys, but we're just going to have to get in there. So, Megan, tell everybody about you.
So, yeah, just going back on the TMI, everyone knows we're going to be saying vagina a lot. So be prepared for that. But yeah, so my name is Megan. I was a travel agent for many, many years. And then obviously with lockdown and things like that, travel just pretty much doesn't exist anymore at the moment. And I lost my job and I have a family and a kid to feed and a house to look after. So I had to do something, and I've been using a menstrual cup for about 3 years. And I just found that within South Africa, to find a menstrual cup, they are so expensive. Some people sell them for 3, 4, 500 rand, and I just couldn't understand that. So I did some research, spent the last little bit of my savings to get some cups in to South Africa, and started the business of Lula Cup. And I love the menstrual cup. I think it's such a great thing for every woman to use. And let's see how it goes.
Oh, wow, Megan. So I didn't know that little bit of history. I kind of got the impression that Lula Cup was a little bit older than that, which means you're obviously doing something right.
Oh,
Because
good. Thank you.
more established business. And I didn't know that you went travel and lost your job. So I find that really inspiring because
Thank you.
so many people have lost their jobs. And we've actually had a few videos on moms helping moms and what can we do to kind of like, support our families in this hectic time. So I'm really inspired that you are like the ultimate example of, how to wing it and how to just kind of like adapt and change and survive.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
congratulations. I'm
Thank
so
you.
happy to have you here. And like I said to you, I'll share with you some of my tips of working online and, funky stuff you can
Yeah.
do because that's like
Oh,
my
I'm so
jam.
excited. Yeah,
That's what
just
I
to
love.
learn more is always great.
Yeah, it makes me excited. So let's get into the first thing that's also exciting. Number one, ladies, if you're watching, you can leave a comment on Facebook, on YouTube. It can be on my Facebook page or Megan's Facebook page. Just join in the discussion in any way. You can click on the link in the description to join us on video if you're brave enough. Um, and we will choose a winner for one menstrual cup at the end of this video. So,
Yes.
okay, so we do have a few ladies that are here already in the video below waiting to come on. We've got Bia Lee, we've got Sandiso, and we've got Kaylin. If you want to join us live in video, that's where you've come on. So if you want to come live on video, hang tight. We'll get you up a bit later with your questions. If you don't want to go live on video, then I recommend that you kind of leave that spot and go watch on Facebook or on YouTube. Or you can stay over there, but any comments that you leave is in private chat. So you won't, that's not part of the competition. You have to come live on video or chat on social media. And I do have some private chats. Oh, Bia Lee and Sandiso and Kaylin, you're all chatting in private chat. So
Yeah.
yeah. Good morning. I can't put that
Good
up on the screen
morning.
because it's in the private section. But yeah, we'll chat to you soon and I'll check if you're ready to come live. We've got Petunia saying good morning. And we've got Lazan also. Hi. We've got Nicole. Good morning. I don't know if I
Ah,
told you
Nicole.
this coffee, Megan. Isn't this lekker?
Yeah.
So
So
I'm
Nicole
in,
actually won the last competition.
who? Nicole.
Nicole
Nic-
Bristow, she won the last competition that we ran, and
oh,
she's been as far as I know, been using her menstrual cup. So I'd love to get updates from her, see how she feels about it, and if she's had success or not.
oh, yes. I recognize her name from a competition, but I couldn't remember which
Yes.
one because I run
Yeah,
quite a lot of
I
giveaways.
can imagine. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so let's get into it. The first thing that I want to know is how does the menstrual cup work?
Okay. So the menstrual cup is a alternative to a pad or a tampon. So it's just like any sort of menstrual product that you would use, but it's more sustainable, it lasts longer, and it's reusable. The menstrual cup gets inserted inside your vagina and creates sort of a suction and sits and collects the blood. What is great about it is it's not being absorbed by anything, which is when your blood gets absorbed by other products like a tampon, that's when certain chemicals get released into your body, and it's where more bacteria can grow. The cup sits, it fills up, and then you can wear it for up to 12 hours, obviously depending on your flow. And then you just remove the cup and you empty it out, you clean it, and you can insert it straight back in. And so, yeah, the cup is just used, it goes inside your vagina, very similar to a tampon, but I feel it's more comfortable. And I'll show you maybe a little bit later in terms of how to insert it. And or do you want me to go into that now, how to insert it as well?
Hold on. Wait. Boom.
How do you put it in? Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually pull out a cup so we can see it. Because a lot of people are always scared and like, oh, it's so big and how will it fit and whatever. So the first thing you need to know is vaginas are very, very adaptable. Vaginas can stretch. That's why we are able to have children. And then they go straight back to what they used to be. So that's something that's very important to know, is that this is not going to ruin your vagina. You're not going to have a big saggy vagina. It doesn't do that at all. Okay. So how you put it in, this is the cup, okay? As you can see, it's probably about the same length as a tampon, but and that's what you're thinking is daunting. You're thinking, how is that going to go inside? But you use a fold method. So there are about 9 different fold methods that you can choose from. My personal favorite is the C fold. So you see, you make a little C. But if that's still too nerve-wracking, because I mean, look at that, that's much smaller to insert, okay? If that's too nerve-wracking, then the one that's very popular is called the punch down. So you got to get my left and right here. Punch it down like that. And can you see how small that is to enter? Same size as a tampon. So that's what's important to know, is that actually when you're inserting, you're not inserting much more than a tampon size, menstrual product, And then so when you insert it into your vagina, you'll insert it in, okay? You'll feel it go in, and then it just pops out. And that's how you know it's in properly. And then if you give it a little tug at the bottom and you can feel that suction, then you know it's in properly. And look, I'm going to be honest, it takes practice. It really, really does take practice. There are times where, I've been using it for three years. Most times, 90% of the time, I get it right first time because I've had the practice with it. But there's still days where it won't work for me for that day. And I have to just take a break for 5 minutes and then go back and try again. So it does take practice. And that's probably the only thing that's a little bit harder in terms of using a tampon or a pad, is that doesn't really take too much practice. You do it once, you know how to do it. The cup takes a little bit more practice. But yeah, it definitely, once you learn the trick and you find the fold that fits for you, you'll find it so much easier.
Okay, so can I get into some questions here? So
sure.
There's no way around getting this, because like when you said you just pull it out, I had this vision, okay, and it was really gross and messy. So I had this vision of like it coming out like, and then like blood coming out all over the place. How does that work? So
look, the honest truth is it is messier. It's messier than a pad or a tampon. That is the truth of it. I find it works best in the shower. So once it's inside of you, it's obviously formed that suction. So there's very, very little chance of leakage. Pretty much I never have a leak. I go no pads, no panty liners, nothing. Most days, just with my cup in. I can exercise with it. You can swim with it, and there's no leaks if you've put it in correctly. So when you take it out, you do have to break that suction. So the easiest way is to just insert your finger and push it down, and you'll hear the suction break. And then, got to get it. Then you use your other fingers and just pull it out, okay? Pull it out like that, and then it should normally be quite full with your blood, and that's why in the shower, you just whoop down the drain, and it's gone. You can do it if you need to in a bathroom. Just if you have running water, great. If not, just a bottle of water, clean it out, dump it out, use some toilet paper, just give it a wipe. You can insert it back in. But yes, the truth is, it is a little bit messier. You are going to get blood on your fingers. That's the truth. It doesn't explode. It doesn't go and there's blood everywhere. But you will. You're going to get blood on your fingers. You might get a little bit on your hand. That is the truth of it. But I found the same was with tampons. When I removed a tampon before, I still got blood on my fingers, and still there was a little bit of blood somewhere. So it does happen with your menstrual cycle that you're going to get blood somewhere. That's the truth of it. And I do find the cup is a little bit messier, but you learn ways to deal with that.
Okay, so the one thing I was going to ask is that, like, what do you do when you're out at the mall and you can feel like, I think my cup's full, So what you're basically saying is rather don't do that, rather plan your day and have a shower and take it out.
Absolutely. It is best. So I because you can wear the cup for up to 12 hours, you don't have to change it every 3 to 4 hours. So you don't have to be in those sticky situations where you're in a public place and now you've made a mess or something like that. So I find it's best I shower in the morning, change it, put it back in, and then the same thing at night just before I go to bed. That's what I find easiest. There have been times where I've had to change it in a public place. And as I say, I've just taken a bottle of water with me so that I can rinse it, take it out, rinse it over the toilet, clean it out over the toilet, and then reinsert it. So it is possible to do. You just have to have some water. And even if you don't have water, you can use a wet wipe as long as it's safe, like an antibacterial wet wipe. Just toilet. I've had to do it once with just toilet paper. Just emptied out the blood, took some toilet paper, cleaned it up, threw the toilet paper in the toilet. So you can do it without running water. I just find running water does help the most.
Perfect. Okay, cool. That's interesting. Let's just see. Is there any way of one getting missed when wearing one? Kaylin, I think we've pretty much covered that already. And then we've got Gloria. Gloria wants to know, is it suitable for heavy periods, and how often do you change it during the day?
Yeah, so I think what's also important to note is there are two different sizes. I stock two different sizes. Let me put it that way. You can get other ones from other companies, and I know, like, if you are looking for more, like, there's a petite version for very, very young girls. That is very hard to find, and you're probably going to pay a lot more. But for the main part, you get a small and a large. If you do have very heavy periods, I would recommend the large. I don't have an extremely heavy period, but I do find that mine easily, I can go 12 hours. No problem at all. I know my partner, she has a little bit more heavier period, so she normally goes about 8 hours with her cup. But again, it's sort of a trial and error. You will be able to tell, if you're feeling worried about it, go check it every 4 hours. And I think that's also what's really, really great about the cup is you will really learn so much more about your period. When you see your pad after 3 hours and it's covered in blood, you think, oh, I'm losing so much blood. But when you see it in a cup and it's only this much blood, you're going to be shocked. And you're going to be, oh, actually, I'm not losing that much blood. It's just the pad doesn't keep it well. So you will learn so much more about your period. And you'll learn, okay, actually, I've checked it 4 hours. It's still fine. I can push it to 6 hours, and then you push it to 8, and then you push it to 12 hours. It's as easy as that. You will learn, but absolutely completely suitable for heavy periods.
Awesome. I think that's something that I've heard. There's a friend of mine that raves about menstrual cups, and she said that she's so happy, and she tried to convince me to get one, but like I've explained to you, I'm having so much problems with my periods and my menstrual cycle and my womb, and if you really want to get TMI, I can tell you more, but it's pretty damn grim. For now, I'm going to leave it. I'm actually getting an IUD put in next week. I'm getting a marina in, and I'm supposed to be having a hysterectomy, but thanks COVID, that's not happening at the moment. So we're going for the marina, and hopefully I won't have any periods. So that's something I was not about it, but I just felt that, where I'm at the
So
moment.
just on that as well, I've never used an IUD, so I don't know exactly how it works. But some people do still get a period with an IUD, and it is 100% safe to use the cup with the IUD. It won't mess up the IUD at all. It won't knock it out of place or anything like that. So just if anyone out there does have an IUD and is worried about using the cup with it, you can use a cup at the same time.
Stunning. Got another question here or comment. Kaylin again about trial and error. Yeah,
Absolutely, trial and error.
I think
And you know what?
it's different at different stages. Like I found when my period first starts, I mean, it's like for the
Same with
first
me.
day 3, it kind of trickles and then it like, tapers off. So I think it's about not just, how long does it, take to fill up, but, the different stages of your period. And I think, Megan, like you said, you get to really understand your body and your period.
Absolutely, yeah. And when I say trial and error, it's the same thing. Some people love pads, other people hate pads. Some people love tampons, other people hate. It's going to be the same thing with the cup. It's that some people it's just not going to work for. That's the honest truth of it. Is that it might not work for every single woman out there, but 9 out of 10 women, a cup will work perfectly and better than a pad or a tampon.
Yeah, I think also it depends what stage in life you are. Like my daughter is 9, so we're going to have to start the book and discussing what options she's going to be using. And I think maybe for a child that is or girl that's just past the period, it may not be the best option. And then also like I was a teenager, I used tampons because I was like, pads are so gross, And now that I'm older and I'm kind of hitting my I don't know, I think I'm in perimenopause or something at 42. Now, like tampons are like, I can't wear it. It's so uncomfortable. It like, I don't know, I think your vagina gets so much more dry as you get older. And I think it's just like, it's a no-go for me. So I have to wear pads now. So I think perhaps if you're at a certain stage in your life, maybe a cup won't be like appealing, but you can always look at it at a later time or a different time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think also, so just on that as well, I used to use pads because I found with tampons, I used to get really bad muscle spasms. I didn't know why it happened, but I would just, if I wore a tampon, every time I would sit down, I would get this like sort of spasm all the way up my spine. So I don't know what it was, but so I never wore tampons and I moved from pads to a cup, no problem. So don't think because you only wear pads that you won't be able to use a cup, because you absolutely will be able to use a cup. And in fact, it's easier than tampons ever were for me personally. I hated tampons. They hurt me. I was always in pain with them. And this cup doesn't do any of that. So, and yes, in terms of age, I do feel like maybe as you're a little bit older and you understand your period a little bit more, a cup is a good option. But I mean, I've got girls as young as 16 that are using the cup and are loving it. So you can, from the moment you start your period, you can use a cup. As I said, I have a small that I would recommend for young girls, but you can, if you want it even smaller, you can get a petite cup from some other companies. Yeah, for myself, I find the small works perfectly for the young girls. And it's actually recommended for anyone under 30 is a small cup, as long as you haven't had children. So, yeah.
Perfect. And then we've got a comment from Carmen asking, I mean, we've covered this, but is it comfortable?
You know, it actually is extremely comfortable. And what's most surprising is you will actually forget you're wearing it. That is the honest truth. There are times where I'm in the shower and then I'm like, oh, I haven't changed my cup yet. I need to change my cup because I completely actually forget I'm wearing it. I've never felt so much freedom as when I use a cup. And I know maybe it sounds biased coming from me, but my friends who have used the cup, my partner who uses the cup, we all agree that this is so much more comfortable than tampons. Pads, I mean, you just get like that rash, especially I'm from Durban, KZN. The heat here with a big pad, I mean, it's like having nappy rash half the time. You don't get any of that at all with the cup, and it's so comfortable.
Perfect. Theshni, good question. How does one go to the loo?
Okay, so I think what's important to know is with your vagina, you have two holes. A lot of people don't know that. But one is your urethra. I can't get the word out. Urethra. And the other one is the hole that goes to your cervix. The hole for your cervix is where your babies come out, where your menstrual blood comes out. Your urethra is the hole where your pee comes out. And they are completely separate. So the cup does not interfere at all with going to the toilet. The most that you will probably find any sort of, and I'm going to be very graphic here, is when you go for a poo and you're pushing, you might kind of feel, but it's just because all your abdomen muscles are contracting, and so you might feel the cup a little bit more, but you're never going to be able to push it out, if I can put it that way, because it's formed that suction. Once it's in there, it is in there. You are not going to get it out until you break that suction, and pushing with your abdomen muscles is not going to break that suction at all. So that's the only time where you can probably feel it, is when you're having a poo and you're pushing a little bit, that you might feel that there's a cup in there. But honestly, it doesn't affect the way, and I think that's even a benefit. I know people who wore tampons who every time they went to pee, they had to remove their tampon and put a new one in. And I was just like, I drink so much water, I'm peeing every hour. Now imagine every hour I have to change a tampon. It's just crazy. With the cup, you don't have to do that at all. In fact, the pee doesn't go anywhere near the cup at all. So completely hygienic in that way.
Yeah, that was going to be my question when I saw Theshni's question, is that like when I wear tampons, okay, TMI warning, when I wear tampons and I have a poo, I almost always have to change my tampon, because one of two things happens. The tampon gets pushed out when I push.
Yeah.
And number two, I poo on the strings.
Sure, but that's exactly it. No.
On a paper, I'm like, get it's very nice to know, because for me, like, also it's a waste if you have to take your tampon out every time you make a poop. That's just kind of, it may not need to be changed at that time, because it's not
exactly
fully set. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah.
And then also on that, so what you also have to understand is the cup sits a little bit higher than a tampon. A tampon sits right at the sort of like entrance of your vagina. The cup goes a little bit higher because it goes literally around your cervix. It creates that suction around your cervix. So there's a lot less contamination and things, because there's nothing hanging. The most that hangs out is that sort of tiny little stem. That's what hangs out. And for most women, that doesn't even hang out enough for it to be a problem. And for one or two women that it is too long, you can just trim it. You can cut this off. You can cut it right down to the bottom. You can cut it down there, whatever you want. So there should be nothing hanging out to get contaminated with anything else.
Nice. Awesome. So we've got Al Mahanga. Well, I haven't seen any at major retail stores. Maybe I'm wrong. But I know that they're becoming very popular online, and you can buy from Megan online, and it can be delivered to your house. And
absolutely.
She sells at 500 Rand a cup. Delivery is
99 Rand anywhere in South Africa.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Awesome. And I'm going to be very honest. My main goal when I started this company was to make these cups affordable. As I said before, there are a lot of companies out there that are selling them online, but you're looking 300, 400, 500 Rand, excluding shipping, sometimes even more. I know there's a company that sells them for like 799 Rand. And the reason they do that is, number one, because it's such an in-demand product and there aren't a lot in South Africa. And number two, because they save you so much money in the long run. A cup lasts for 10 years. So if you work out what you spend on a month on your menstrual products, let's say you spend 30 Rand a month on menstrual products. That's cheap. Most people spend more than that a month. Times that by 12 months, times that by 10 years, that's a massive saving. I think I've worked out in just 3 years, you've spent about 3,000 Rand on menstrual products. So I think if you're only spending 700 Rand once off for that 10 years, it's a big saving. But for 100 Rand, even better saving. You will not find cheaper in South Africa. I can guarantee you that. And even if, let's say, so a cup can last 10 years with proper care. So if you really, really look after it. If you don't, I'm a little bit lazy sometimes. I don't look after it 100% perfectly. So I like to replace mine every 5 years. But still, at 100 Rand, replacing it every 5 years, it's so worth it.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I spend 50 Rand a month on my products at
You
least.
see? Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So
So
we've got Kerry just replied there. Firstly, Kerry says she's got a menstrual cup. She loves it and will never go back.
yay, good work, Kerry.
I hope you well. Kerry's a friend of mine. She's seen them in Clicks. So yeah, if you don't want to order online, you can also go check out at Clicks.
Yeah.
And
And they do sell them at Clicks. That's the only place I have seen them. They normally don't have a lot of stock. I've maybe they only have one or two, which also, if they don't have the right size or something for that, it might not work for you. And I do know they are a little bit more expensive. I think they retail at about 250, 270 Rand, somewhere around there in Clicks.
perfect. I've got Gloria, but your camera and your devices are not connected. So if you want to come live, just connect all of that. And I've got Bianca Lee. Do you want to come live? If you do, just put a thumbs up in front of your nose. I can see you there. If you don't want to come live in video, just give me a thumbs down. Okay, I think Bianca's frozen. Bianca, if you do want to come live at some stage, just give me a wave so that I can see you. It appears like you're a bit buggy, freezy there. Cool. So we got Lynn Delway. Yeah, I think Megan's covered this already. The cups can be from anywhere from 100 Rand with Lula Cup up to, like a couple of $100.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. But 100 Rand for a Lula Cup, so really
Yeah,
affordable.
yeah, definitely. Let's just see. Okay. It's a pleasure. What are the cups made of?
So my cups, and this is something that's very important when looking at cups, is making sure that they are 100% medical grade silicone. And the reason for that, you do get cheaper ones that are made out of plastic. Like if you buy from certain wholesalers overseas and things like that. And that's where things like infections can happen if you don't have the correct material. So my cups are 100% medical grade silicone. I do have a certificate for that if you ever do want to see it. Not a lot of people ask about it, but yes, I do. And that means that there's very, very, very little chance of having any sort of infection from the cup or any sort of even allergic reaction or anything to the cup because it is 100% medical grade silicone. And there aren't any major chemicals that don't agree with our bodies used with it at all.
Fantastic. I'm just looking for, there was a comment that I found interesting and I thought, oh, this will be a nice thing to answer. And then I can't find it. Oh, Simfiwe or Simpiwe. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. You're welcome to correct me in the comments. She says a friend of hers uses it and she wants to know how long after delivery can you use it? That's probably a COVID related.
Yeah, so the honest truth is you can use it pretty much straight away. The only thing you have to do before you use it is boil the cup. So you just put it in a pot with some boiling water for 3 to 5 minutes. Once it's boiled, you are able to use it immediately. It does come sealed in a little plastic packet like this. So it is completely sealed. So you won't get it like out and like this in it. It will come sealed in a little plastic packet like this and inside a little satin bag to keep it. So you just boil it 3 to 5 minutes before use, and then that's it. That you can use it immediately. I do find it's best when I said about looking after it properly is at the end of each period cycle that you boil it again so that it's ready for the next period cycle. But that's it. You just have to boil it 3 to 5 minutes and you can use it immediately. Well, let it cool down first, please.
Good one. Cool it down.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Okay, and then Carmen, I think that you want to know after your period, you leave it in water. This is just being covered. So yeah, you just give it a boil and then store it for the next period.
Yeah. So that's why I say I'm not good because I don't boil mine after every single period. So I'm naughty in that respect. I just rinse it out, give it a good clean in the shower under the hot water, and then I leave it in my shower until my next period. So, yeah, that's the best I can give there. But you should boil it after every period.
Perfect. And then we've got Almahanga again telling me that I may have totally misinterpreted that comment. I'm sorry. She's asking, is Simphi, we're not asking about how soon you can use it after pregnancy, delivery, like delivering your baby. And that was actually going to be a question that I was going to ask. So yeah, thank you so much. I'm not sure which one it was, but it's a great.
Maybe we can't.
So yeah, go for it.
So I'm going to be very honest. I'm not sure. Only maybe because I haven't had a baby myself. So I don't know how long it takes for your cervix to get back to normal. Is it immediate? I don't know. I would say maybe just check with your gynecologist. Most gynaes know exactly what a menstrual cup is and how it's used. I would maybe just check with your gynecologist when they suggest is the best time to go back to using a menstrual cup.
Yeah, perfect. Just to add on to that, I have had 2 babies, and it would probably, Megan's right, I would check with your doctor, but I would say it's probably 6 weeks, because that's when you start using, basically for this first 6 weeks, you're not supposed to use tampons, you're not supposed to have sex, you're not supposed to put anything in there. And then you have your 6-week checkup after you've had your delivery. And at that, it's at that checkup that the doctor will give you the go-ahead for sex, for tampons, for all of that. So my assumption would be that that would be the same time. But since you're going to the appointment, that's probably the right time to say, can I use a menstrual cup?
Yeah,
so that would
absolutely. Check with your gynae. They will know best. And 99% of gynaes know exactly what a menstrual cup is and how it's used. So they should be able to explain it and tell you exactly when's best for you to use it again.
Perfect. And we've got Zenat. Is it easy to remove?
You know what? It is very easy to remove if you know how to break the seal properly, because that's the most important thing, because it creates the seal around your cervix. You have to be able to sort of just squeeze a finger in, just do that, and it breaks the seal, and then it just slides right out, slippy slidey right out. So yeah, it is very easy to remove. In fact, the hardest part is actually insertion and getting that right. But once you've got that right, removal is very, very easy.
That reminds me of the exact same action you take to remove your baby from the breast. You stick your finger in the mouth and you break the suction of the nipple. Then you pull.
Well, so there you go. Exactly the same thing. It's all about the suction.
It's the suction. Perfect. Cool. Let's see. Okay, so there's no other. We've got Raina saying good morning, 10 years. Yeah, that is fantastic and a cool topic. So I'm glad that you're watching and you can ask your questions. Take that away. Did I have any other questions? Oh, yeah. When is it advisable not to use a menstrual cup?
You know what? There's really not any time that you shouldn't be able to use a menstrual cup. Only because they are so flexible. They can pretty much mold to your vagina, your cervix. It can form its way around it no matter what. I would suppose if there's a reason why you can't use tampons, then maybe you shouldn't be able to use a menstrual cup. But again, saying that, my personal experience, I couldn't use tampons. It caused muscle spasms. Have had absolutely no problems with the menstrual cup. So it's very much, again, trial and error. Try it out. If it's really uncomfortable, if it's not working for you, then that's okay. It's not going to work for everyone, but there shouldn't be any reason why you can't use a menstrual cup.
Awesome. Perfect. Okay, let's go on to, I would love to hear about this because I am very much into recycling and trying to, leave as little footprint as possible. So tell us how the Lula Cup is eco-friendly.
So this is extremely, extremely eco-friendly. And the reason why is because it can be reused for up to 10 years. If you think about how many tampons or how many pads you use just in a month, and work out that compared to one Lula Cup every 10 years, you are saving so much of the environment. Your landfills and your landfills are not going to get full of old wasted menstrual products. The sewers and things aren't going to get backed up with menstrual products. They're not going to land up in the ocean for poor animals to chomp on, anything like that. So it really, really is an amazing product for that. And that's also why, I don't want to, what's the right word? I don't want to diss any other companies, but a big thing for me is you promote eco-friendly and then you sell your products and it's in a packet and it's got 700 different pages and it's in a cardboard box that's also wrapped in a packet. And I just think, what are you saving? All you've done is add more waste. So that's why my product comes, literally, it has one packet, that's it, and that's only so that we can keep it nice and sterile. One packet, and it comes like this. There's no box or anything like that. It's just the bag, and it's a reusable bag. And it's because I wanted to make sure we stay eco-friendly. And the only other piece of paper is the instructions that we do print on recycled paper. So, we are reusing paper in that regard. And that's it. That is it. I don't use any cardboard boxing. I don't use any extra plastic packaging or anything like that. And it's purely because we want to make sure we stay eco-friendly and try and eliminate as much waste as possible.
That's fantastic. And I'm assuming, obviously, the paper is recyclable and the little piece of plastic is also recyclable.
Yeah, exactly. And the plastic is purely there so that we can keep it sterile until you open it. If we did it any other way, then there's chance of contamination or something like that. Whereas with that, at least it keeps it's sealed and it's sterile until you open it at your front door.
Fantastic. We've got Al Mahonga again saying she regrets not having this option in her earlier years because it would saved her a fortune. I said, you know what? I've had times
exactly,
in my
life,
the period is so heavy. I've had to wear like a big super tampon and a big maxi pad, and I bleed right through. I can't make it through the night. I've got to change like 2-3 times I wake up. It's been really bad. So I mean that cost and the fortune and the mess and everything. Yeah.
Exactly. And even for myself, as when, like you said, in certain stages in your period, you might be a little bit heavier or lighter. So I find on day 2, I'm very, very heavy. So I have my cup, and then that will be the day that I might use a panty liner as well. But I've never needed more than that. I don't have to use a nighttime pad or anything like that. It's purely the cup and a panty liner on my very, very heavy days, and I've been perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's nice, and I think also, like, for me, I've had to buy like different tampons for different stages of my period and different pads and all of that. I mean, like, I've got a cupboard full of sanitary products, it's awful. It's really, really awful. So let's have a look now. Great. I would love to hear now also, I did read about it on your website, on how Lula Cup gives back.
Okay, so for me, a big thing in terms of starting Lula Cup was I wanted to make sure I can help people. And one of the things that is a major issue in South Africa and within Africa is that girls miss school because they aren't able to afford menstrual products. When a pad is 50 Rand or a packet of pads is 30 to 50 Rand, they don't have that money available. And so when their period comes, they have to stay away from school for 5 days. Because they don't have products to be able to still go to school. And so I have started for every 10 cups that is bought. So, you buy a cup, your friend buys a cup, and not 8 other people buy a cup. We donate 1 cup to a girl in need. We've donated a few so far. And we don't just do it to girls in school. There's a program in my community that helps with preparing people for work and giving them skills to do certain jobs. And I've donated to them because, again, for women who are struggling and then they finally get a job and then have to miss work for 3 days because of their period, they're going to lose that job. At least with the cup, they can carry on working no matter what. So that's how we give back. I'm hoping to one day be able to do 1 for 1. But as a small starting business, at the moment, it's for every 10 cups bought, we give 1 to an underprivileged girl. And we do offer for people, if you don't want to buy a cup yourself and you just want to donate, we are able to do that as well. You can just donate to us and we will set aside cups and give them to girls in need.
Yeah, that's something fantastic I could do for the lady that works for me. The only job she has is working for me 1 day a week, and she gets paid 200 rand. And she's got a
Sure.
baby of, I think, 8 months old, 9 months old now. And I always just think, how do you do it? And I know that
Yeah.
there's four sisters living together, and only two of them have work. One of
Yeah.
which is the lady who works 1 day a week for me. So
Yeah.
I mean, it just and they've got a couple of kids between the four sisters.
Hmm.
So it's very sad. So that's actually something fantastic I could buy for her as a gift. That would make a
Absolutely.
big
Yeah.
change, save her thousands.
True. So it would save her so much money. So definitely, I mean, that's also we gave to our lady as well who works for us, and she loves it. And if you go into my Instagram page, she's given me her very own review. It's on my Instagram page in Zulu, so you can go and see from someone like who will tell you honestly exactly what it's like and how much she loves it.
Well, fantastic. I'm going to be buying one for my lady. Perfect.
Awesome.
And Carmen, what a wonderful product. Thank you. It'll be lovely if
Thank
you
you,
spread.
Carmen. Yes.
And we've got Makobo watching from South Africa. Hi. Awesome. So, ladies, if you've got any other questions, I think we've covered everything now. We've got
Yeah, I think the only thing I do want to show, I did bring a large cup with large because this is a small cup, just so you can see the difference in sizing. So, if I recommend to you a large cup and you're like, oh no, I'm too scared, then you can see what the difference in the size. Sorry, I had to open it. So this side is the large, this is the small. So you can see it's not a big difference at all. And then just in the top, you can see this is a tiny little bit smaller than this one. So very, very small differences, but the small is recommended for women under 30 or women who haven't had a child, and the large is for women over 30 or anyone who has had a child.
okay, perfect. Yeah, I think this is a great video topic because, like, for me personally, like, the menstrual cup does seem a bit intimidating. So, oh, there's one more question I wanted to ask you. Swimming.
Yes. Yes, you can absolutely swim. Absolutely, no problem with that. In fact, I have a young girl who is a very competitive swimmer, and she uses a Lula Cup and has absolutely no problems and absolutely loves it. She said the worst was when she was on her period, she had to wear a tampon, and often the most embarrassing part was that the string would pop out and she would have this little string dangling.
That happened to
Exactly.
me. I don't think anybody saw, but I could feel it, and I just popped it back in, and
Yeah. But
it's um no.
imagine being a 16-year-old girl at a competitive race and then you get out the pool and there's a string hang. How embarrassing. So she said this has completely changed that for her and she never has to be embarrassed again.
Fantastic, fantastic. I've got Gloria saying she's going to tell her two sisters and we got ordered together. So that's awesome. And then also just take note, Gloria, that there's going to be a discount code. Over
Yay!
to you.
And also with that, if she orders like 3 or 4 at a time, I'll only charge shipping once. I won't charge shipping for each cup. So as long as they're all going to the same place, we'll put it all together and ship it all at one time. So you don't have to pay 99 rand extra for each person. 99 rand once. So if you and your two sisters, it's 33 rand each for shipping. So it's really good. Yeah, discount code. So I think let's do the discount code as Kaboutjie. Is that how you say it? Kaboutjie? Kaboutjie? And we'll do 2020.
Okay, so let me just add. Ooh, wait, come back. Just hold on.
No worries. And we'll leave that code going for maybe the next sort of 3 to 6 months. We'll see how it goes. And, if you've got the code, let me know when you place an order. Yeah,
Boom.
there
And
you
it's a
go. That's the discount code.
awesome. So Kaboutjie 2020, just add that to
Kaboutjie.
your order when you place it. And I'll also add that discount code to my website. So, you don't have to order right now. I'm going to be creating an awesome blog post from this video. So all the information will be set out nicely so you ladies can go and read it. And the discount code and links to Lula Cup will be in that blog post.
Yeah. You can I'm not Afrikaans when I say Kaboutjie. Hey.
Ah, Yeah, well, I'm not Afrikaans. My husband is Afrikaans, and the company
Oh,
was my husband used to call her Stoute Kabouter or Kabouter Koe.
oh, okay.
I took out the and I just made it a nonsense word, Kaboutjie.
Okay,
So it's supposed to be like
perfect.
a nonsense word for like a naughty little elf child uh, that
I love that.
causes. Yeah.
So maybe speaking on the name, the reason why I've named the company Lula Cup is because in Zulu, Lula means easy and convenient. So I wanted to stick with my South African roots with the Zulu, and I just thought, what better than making something easy and convenient for you? And that's a Lula Cup.
Oh, that's fantastic. I had no idea that was Zulu.
Yeah.
Thank you for adding that. That's amazing. I'll add that. That's awesome. And then we've got some Piwe getting one for her and her little sister. Um, Here's something interesting, and this is something that I've read previously when I wrote an article on my website about different menstrual products. I've heard that the menstrual cups you have less cramping and less pain. Now I don't.
Absolutely.
I mean, I have not used it, but that's what I've read. That's what I've heard from other people.
Yes, no, it's 100. I can 100% tell you that is the truth for myself. I used to suffer really, really badly with cramps. I would be pretty much out for a day because my cramps were so bad. Luckily, it was only one day that I had the bad cramps. And with the cup, I found that has been much, much less. Look, there's still times where I do get cramps. I'm not saying it disappears completely, but I have found that since using the cup, the cramps have lessened a lot. Some months I don't have cramps at all, which is awesome. And the reason for it is because of where it sits in your cervix. It's not pushing on some of your muscles where the way a tampon does, and so it actually makes it a little bit easier. And doesn't, I don't know exactly why though. Nobody knows exactly why, but yeah, apparently it's because of the way it sits that it doesn't cause any interference with your muscles, and yeah, that's why you have less cramps with the menstrual cup.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Awesome. And then Almahonga says it would be great if the governments would buy this for girls. I totally agree. I mean, I believe that they got initiatives where they send pads and stuff, but I mean, that's something they got to keep on buying. This is a once off
Correct.
buy.
Correct,
So,
absolutely. And I'm going to be honest. I have approached some organizations to see if I could partner with them in terms of that. That instead of, and it's great. I love an initiative that they're giving out pads and things. The problem is you give out one pack of pads. What's going to happen next month? What does that young girl do the next month? So you help her for only 1 month. I'm helping her go for 10 years. That's pretty much nearly their full school career. I could help them. So if you know any of the organizations, please get in contact with me. Give me their details. I'll get in contact with them, and let's see if we can maybe get some partnerships happening with these organizations. I haven't had much luck yet. I do have one that says maybe next year they'll partner with me. But yeah, I am trying to partner with some companies and organizations to rather hand out period cups instead of um, like other period products.
perfect. Yeah, I totally agree. 100%. And maybe if all the moms tell the schools, there might be something
There you
in there.
go. Exactly.
Cool. So now we got to choose a winner. Unless, is there anything
Yay.
else to add?
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I can think of to add. The only thing I will say is, I'm very, very involved in the business. It's pretty much just me, and so I always tell anyone who buys a cup from me, they have me on WhatsApp. If you have any problems, please send me a message. I will, and there's no question that's TMR. There's no question I haven't heard before. I want to help you as much as possible to help you get it right. So if you do buy a cup and you have any questions, please, please, please feel free to ask me. I'm happy to help at any time.
Awesome, fantastic. And just on that note, we did a video a while back with Louisa from Momtrepreneur South Africa, and that video was on moms supporting moms in South Africa. And I would just like to say, ladies, just buy from Megan, please, because life is tough at the moment for everybody, for all of us, but for moms in particular. Coronavirus has had the biggest impact on moms. We've lost our jobs because we've decided to stay at home with our children because they can't go to school. We've decided to school our children. I know men have been affected, but it's been the moms have been most affected. And I think this is a time where we need to stick together, support each other. And this is like a fantastic product. It is well priced. It is amazing. So this is something where you can make a big difference in Megan's life and buy a cup.
Thank you.
So,
Yes, please support. And like we say, if you're not interested in getting a cup yourself, either you're welcome to donate, and we will supply cups to girls in need. Or if you want to buy for someone else, buy for a friend, buy for your workers at home, buy for someone. You never know who it might change their life for. And I think it's just such an awesome product. I don't see why people shouldn't be getting them for their birthdays and Christmas.
definitely, definitely. Awesome. Yes. Thank you, Carmen.
Yes.
Okay. So now we're going to pick a winner, pick a winner. Ooh, is there anyone
Yay!
for you?
There was oh, now do you think I can remember their name? Someone who asked like 3 or 4 questions. There was someone who asked 3 or 4 questions.
There's Kaylin that asked. There's Theshni that asked about going to the toilet. There's Al Mahanga that asked about is it going to be available soon. She asked a couple of things.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe we go for Alma Hunger.
Al Mahanga.
There
That's
you
lovely.
go.
Al Mahanga, I don't know where you're watching. Oh, you're watching on YouTube.
Okay.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just send you a message there, and maybe you can just come back to me with your email address. That's what I need, so I can put you in contact with Megan. You can either
Absolutely.
contact me at lynne@kaboutjie.com. Where's my banners? Oh, I'm on caps here, and it's giving me a problem. Why? Struggling to even type my email address.
Oh.
I'm glad it doesn't have a W in because my son broke it while playing Minecraft.
Oh no.
Yeah, I said to him, my L button went all wrong, my W button. And I went to him
Yeah.
and just out of interest, sweetie, what's the button used the most in Minecraft? He's like, it's the wa for walking. And I'm like,
Oh, kids, right? Kids.
yeah.
Oh, you've frozen. Okay, looks like Lynn has frozen, I think, or maybe it's my side. No, it looks like she's disappeared. But yes, please, if you do want to order a cup, you can contact me directly on Facebook or Instagram, or you can go to my website, www.lulacup.co.za. And if you are the winner, please make sure you contact Lynn at Kaboutjie. I got to get that right, kaboutjie.com. Sorry, are you back?
I never left. I was here the
Oh,
whole time watching you, and you're doing fantastic. I should get you on the whole show.
I just saw you went blank. You froze and then went black. I thought, let's just run with it. Let's go.
But yeah, Al Mahanga, just pop me an email to lynne@kaboutjie.com, or I'll get you on YouTube and we can just connect and sort out the prize. Megan,
Yes.
thank you so much for your time. It has been a fantastic video.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. For a small business that's just recently started out, this is absolutely amazing for me, and the exposure and the just educating people. I'm so passionate about just educating women on that there is another option, that they don't have to suffer all the time, that we can help you out. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
It's an absolute pleasure. Awesome. Everybody have a great weekend. I'll catch up with you all very, very soon. Bye.